Good morning. I am Madhuri Malatkar, Assistant Professor of English, Government First Grade College, Birur, Chikmagalur District. Today I am going to talk about Julius Caesar, Act 3, Scene 1, which is prescribed for 2nd BCom BBA 4th Sem of Kuvempu University.
This extract is taken from the play Julius Caesar, written by William Shakespeare, who is a well-known playwright, poet, and actor of Elizabethan period. He has written 38 plays and 154 sonnets. The plays are tragedies, comedies, and historic plays. Julius Caesar is a historic play and tragedy. The plot is set in Rome. The play consists of 5 acts and each act having 3 to 5 scenes. Julius Caesar is a Roman general and senator. Cassius, Casca, Decius, Metellus Cimber, Trebonius, Cinna, Ligarus are jealous conspirators who want to kill Julius Caesar. Brutus also joins them for the sake of country and to stop Caesar from gaining too much power. California, Caesar's wife, urges him not to go to the Senate, but Caesar is persuaded by the flatterers to go to Capitol. At the Capitol, he is stabbed by conspirators on Ides of March. The Act 3, Scene 1 is the climax of the play. It is called the murder scene or assassination scene. The scene begins with Artemidorus, the soothsayer, awaits Caesar in the street. Caesar enters with Brutus, Cassius, Casca, Decius, Metellus, Trebonius, Cinna, Antony, Lepidus, Publius, Populus, and other senators. Artemidorus approaches Caesar with his letter saying, "O Caesar, read mine first, for mine is a suit that touches Caesar nearer." Caesar responds, "What touches us ourselves shall be last served." Again, Artemidorus tells him to read it, but Caesar dismisses him as mad fellow. The group enters the Senate, and Cassius worries that the assassination plot has been discovered by Populus. Brutus assures Cassius that Populus Lena does not speak of their purpose because he smiles and Caesar does not change. Meanwhile, as planned by the conspirators, Trebonius draws Antony away from Senate Hall. Metellus approaches Caesar to request that his brother Publius Cimber, who has been banished from Rome, be granted permission to return. He praises Caesar, "Most high, most mighty, most puissant Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat an humble heart." But Caesar discourages him by saying, "These lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary man." Brutus and Cassius kneel at Caesar's feet and repeat Metellus' plea. Caesar answers, "I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me, but I am constant as the northern star." When Cinna comes forward to plead, Caesar asks, "Hence wilt thou lift up Olympus?" Decius also tries in vain. Finally, Casca says, "Speak hands for me." He is the first to stab Caesar, and others quickly follow him. Brutus is the last person to stab Caesar. Caesar speaks his last words, "Et tu, brute," then fall Caesar, and dies. Cinna declares, "Liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead." Brutus tells conspirators that they have acted as friends to Caesar by shortening his time of fearing death. He urges them to bend down and bathe their hands in Caesar's blood, then walk to the marketplace with red weapons and cry, "Peace, freedom, and liberty." Cassius agrees, declaring that the scene they now enact will be repeated in states unborn, and they are called the men that gave their country liberty. Antony's servant enters with a message that whether Antony is permitted to come there and know the reason of Caesar's death. Brutus assures him to satisfy him with answer and bids him to come. Antony enters and sees Caesar's corpus and says, "O mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquest, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well." He tells the conspirators that if they want to kill him, they should do it at once, for there would be no better place to die than beside Caesar. Brutus tells Antony not to beg for death, saying, "Though now we must appear bloody and cruel, as by our hands and this our present act, you see, we do, yet see you but our hands and this the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not, they are pitiful, and love for Rome." Though Antony shakes hands with all the conspirators, his real feelings towards Caesar is expressed with, "How like a deer stricken by many princes dost thou here lie." Antony requests Brutus to produce the body of Caesar in the marketplace and asks permission for funeral speech. Brutus agrees, but Cassius does not like it. Antony decides to create domestic fury and fires a civil strife in Italy by his funeral speech. Octavius Caesar, adopted son of Caesar, has sent words with his servant that he wants to come to Rome. Antony stops him because Rome is dangerous. No safety for Octavius. At the end of the scene, Antony exits with Caesar's body. That's the end of the scene. Now you can watch video of the assassination scene. Thank you.
Pardon, as low to thy foot of Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
Oh, Caesar!
Great Caesar!
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star, of whose true, fixed, and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and every one doth shine. But there's but one, and all doth hold his place. So in the world, 'tis furnished well with men, and men are flesh and blood and apprehensive. Yet in the number I do know but one, that unassailable holds on his rank unshaked of motion, and that I am he.
Speak hands for me!
say.